Good morning. How is everybody? Right. Whilst I'm waiting for a few people to get in, I'm going to go and find the standings because I need to go back about 23 weeks to find out where we are. Okay, cool, we're here. Right. That's better. Throat's been cleared. Badges are at my neck. Right, we're just going to make a start because I can, and also I don't want to sit around hanging around forever. So, welcome, Tier 2. I'm not your normal commentator. It's Gamad, who you did cover Tier 4 Blue, and I've also covered Tier 2 previous season. A lot of you probably would know my voice by now. Welcome to St. Croix in France, round number 4. We are about 6 weeks behind where we should be. It's fine, we will get you guys all caught up. So welcome, just a reminder of the championship standings. As it is right now, we've got Peltier in first, we've got Otto in second, Anomna in third, Astro in fourth, and Taz in fifth as the standings of week 4 in the season. Just bear with me with that. Over on the constructors, we've got a joint first battle between the BMW M6 and the Audi R8s, with the Gen X not far behind. So actually the Tier 2 constructors and championship title does look quite good. So that being said, let's go through the grid. As we've got Peltier in first, we've got Anomina in second, CMP in third, Auto in fourth. Hello mate, it's been a little while since I've seen you. We then got Taz in fifth, Scotty in sixth. He said he's going back into hibernation. Doesn't surprise me because why is my buttons the wrong way around? No! That's why I was playing Daisy the other day. That's the button I'm after. It doesn't surprise me that Scotty wants to go into hibernation because he's sponsored by Heineken. That doesn't surprise me. Right, we then have Prime in 8th, Astro in 9th, Dent in 10th, Higgsy in 11th, ADR in Higgsy in 10th, excuse me, ADR in 11th, Gills in 12th, Ethan in 13th, Cinder in 14th. Oh no. We then got Anton in 15th, and then we got SES Sailboat, the other SES member, in 16th. So without further ado, my buttons are now in the correct order. We've got a few people in. Let's get cracking. We've got 5 red lights. And away we go. This is before the M6 had a nerf on its starts. It gets a good start, but CMP gets a much better start. So does Anomina. So Peltier's already down to third. The rest of the grid get away quite well. Stick here as Poltio's gone up the inside of Anomina, just about gets it the move done. Astro's still fighting for 4th position at the moment, just about getting past Auto as he goes around the outside of Auto. Let's have a little look further back. No one's having a crash at the moment. The last time I saw Tier 2 there was a crash nearly every corner on the opening lap. You guys are playing it fair today. Anton making a great start. Ethan dropping a few places as well. Anton going around the outside of Ethan, going around this double right-hander. Ethan dropping down again. Anton keeping the spot in the Audi R8. SES is in the background. We've got 1 second penalty. Let's go further forward. Let's see how we're going up in the middle of the pack. Prime trying to catch up to the back of Auto. Auto dropping a few positions as Scotty's hibernation phase is very much in effect at the moment. Going further forward, Astro's dropped down a couple of spots after having a great, oh no, excuse me, he's had a good start. Anonymous still in 3rd. We then got CMP and Poltio a battle for 1st at the moment. Poltio really revving that car out, just holding back as we come up to this very quick left to right section. What do you mean you had to? What do you mean, Scotty? You had to compensate for Higgsy's love of beer? I think it's you. If we speak to Higgsy, I think Higgsy's going to go, no, it's your love of beer. Actually, I see a couple of people going up the inside. Let's come back here. Den's trying to defend from Prime Core at the moment. We'll stay back here for just a moment. I really don't like the camera angles at this place. So Prime in the slipstream with Auto, brakes a little bit earlier, tries to go around the outside. Now it's going to be inside, it's going to be a very, very tight line. Gets a little bit of help from Higgsy actually. So Prime got a bit of a nudge. We're going to try and go around the outside of Dent on a very, very long right-hander that's very, very fast. Does have a little lift mid-corner, helps the car rotate. There's contact mid-corner. Off goes Prime, through goes Higgsy. There's more contact on the rejoin. So who's gonna gain, who's gonna lose out? Anton's got himself half second penalties. We're coming up to 3 wide. Now we're still 3 wide. We were 4 at one point. Who's gonna take advantage of this? Higgsy's going up the inside in the final corner, so is Ethan. Ethan's trying to get past Dens. All the Brits are finding it out for the 10th position at the moment. Higgsy's taken the biggest advantage, gone up to 8th and cleared all this group. Gills is now going to try and go up the inside of Dens for P9. Late on the brakes, here comes Prime Core, late on the brakes, and the BMW doesn't quite get the car stopped. Doesn't make contact either. Here comes ADR and Anton. We're going to go up the inside, try and make a double pass through on Prime. Prime's now dropped down to 13th. Now got the inside of the R8 as there's a tiny little bit of contact. There's a little bit of a nudge going as we come through the double left-handers with 3 wide through this corner. I don't think I've ever seen people go 3 wide through that corner. ADR's going to lose out a little bit on this one. Anton's gone up to 11th, Prime's gone up to 12th, ADR's gone down. Ethan's going to try and pick up some scraps here at the moment. Let's go further forward. Gills has lost out to Dens. Dens has opened up a bit of a gap to Gills as further up ahead. Higgsy's opened up a massive gap, but we're going to stay here. We're going to stay with this group at the moment. Go away, phone. Don't care. More interesting things going on up front at the moment. ADR almost off into the gravel. Wisely backs out of it, doesn't spin the car out, doesn't lose much time either. Ethan can't quite get the car rotated. Let's stay here for another couple of corners, see what happens. This Ford GT is an absolute bullet in the straight line. With slipstream effect, it's going to be a lot quicker. Let's just stay here for just another moment before we go forward. So no move here this time around. Let's go forward to Prime. Prime, can he get up the inside of Anton in the R8? He does send it up the inside at the hairpin. Does get alongside. Anton uses the outside line and the much better momentum to get back around in front. So let's go further forward. Higgsy's got himself a 2-second time penalty, so that's going to push him back into the group he's just cleared. Clearly drinking too much, doesn't know where the white line begins or ends. Auto on his own in 7th at the moment. We've got Scotty all over the back of Taz at the moment. Taz under a little bit of pressure for P5 at the moment. Going further forward, we've got Astro, who's still all over the back of Anomina doing well in 3rd in that Gen X. Going further forward, we got Poltiot and CMP still battling out for 1st position. Not quite close enough for a move at the moment, I don't think. Oh, never mind, hush my mouth. No, wisely back, stays behind. I think Poltiot wants to stay behind and pass in the very either particular place or pass near the end of the race and try and get it so CMP can't fight back. CMP defends to the inside, goes tight to the inside. And Poltiot now going to fall around the outside going through turn 1. CMP uses all the track on the inside. Poltiot tries to hang it around the outside, can't do it this time around. So Scotty had a great run coming out of turn 1. Taz just squeezes him out. Scotty's had to back out of it this time around. Now I'm going to go back because I want to see what's going on back here. Because this place is going to be chaos, I think. We're going to stay on board with Prime. Going through all the twisty bits. This is where this group's going to definitely squeeze up and have a good battle for 10th or 9th position even. Never mind, you guys don't want to fight. Okay, I see how it is. I see. I'll come and help you out and you're not even going to fight. I see it. Let's jump on board with the R8. What can the R8 do? It's on a lot closer to Gilles, so Gilles in the Alfa Romeo is now going to have a little bit of pressure as we come through this right-hander. Anton's got a pretty good run through the beginning part of the corner, not quite as good of a run as they wanted through the final part. There's Prime, have a little look. They all jerk to the left as Higgsy tries to break the slipstream, excuse me as I can't speak English this morning. And they all stay in the tow. No one going for a move. Like I've seen fair few tier 4 drivers in my tier 4 blue series make a move into that corner. I think a couple did. It's too many weeks ago. Anton has a little look up the inside. Not enough and not much to get going. We'll come back forward to the front group in a moment. Let's stay on board with the R8 again. The R8 got very, very close to the back of that. Right. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, okay, let's go back. I was about to say, the R8 got very close to the back of that Alfa Romeo, but let's see how Anton did that. Did he just take a bit too much inside curb? He did just take a bit too much inside curb. And a massive impact. The ping pong ball effect means that Anton's race is now going to be pretty much done. Ethan's taken up the best advantage of gaining 2 spots. ADR's taken up a couple as well. Prime's now down to 13th, probably with absolutely nowhere to go. We got Cinder trying to pick up a little bit of the scraps at the moment, trying to capitalise on the fact that Prime's got a bit of damage on his front bumper. Anton's got a lot of damage on the right, which is now just repaired. Let's go further forward though. Let's definitely go further forward as we got Taz versus Scotty. Scotty's finally gotten through for P5 after having a great run down the final corner, down the start finish straight, and got the inside line for turn 1, but Taz has got a much better exit. Give Scotty a little push. Scotty leaves the space on the outside. It's going to be a tighter line. Can Taz try and hook it up? Ooh, not quite this time. No, yeah. Yeah, it's a shame because Anton had such a great run and could have been a great fight for P10. So Taz following behind Scotty at the moment, can't quite find a way through. Scotty's just opening up a tiny little bit of a gap. It's not quite enough. Oh no, it's probably going to be enough for him to feel a little bit safer. So Scotty's got P5 all sorted, but we're going to stay up front, I think, for the next lap or so, because the top four are now very much closing up. CMP's been in very good control of this race since the opening lap. Poltiol's tried his absolute best to get through his tyres, suffering a little bit. I'm just looking around him. We're going to stay on board here at the moment. Anonymous tries to have a little look up the inside, backs out of it, and tries to open up the corner. And up to this hairpin style right hand bend before the bridge. Looking further back, Taz has got to the back of Scotty. Never mind, Taz has not caught up to the back of Scotty. Scotty's beamed himself a bit more forward and beamed Taz into the dirt. Let's go further forward again. We're going to stay up front. I've just spotted that two people are way off the back. They've probably had a crash, which unfortunately has been missed, but I think you guys would like to see battles and crashes, unless you want me to go and have a look, but I think it's going to take too much time. So the top four at the moment just spreading themselves out a little bit. Den's in 8th, Higgsy in 9th, Gills in 10th at the moment. We've then got ADR in 11th, using all the grass a little bit extra. Prime in 12th, Cinder in 13th, Ethan in 14th, he's had a moment. Anton and SCS are all the way down at the back of the grid in 15th and 16th. Them two have had a horrible previous lap, but we're going to stay up front, we're going to stay up here. Don't think any of these guys are going to be close enough to really shake for a move. It's going to have to be an absolute monster lap from Poltiol, from Anonymous and from Astro to really catch up with CMP and make any sort of position change or difference. Let's see who's close enough. I don't think Poltiol's going to be able to catch up to the back of CMP. I think it's going to be between Anonymous and Poltiol. If Anonymous can keep up this really good lap at the moment, slightly closing up onto the back of Poltiol. As we're hitting about the halfway point of this lap. On the back straight at the moment. Astro just hanging on. I don't think anyone's going to be close enough. I don't think people are closing up enough for anyone to really be shaking or making moves or even looking at them. Let's have a little look through the rest of the grid quick. Taz still trying his best to get P5 back from Scotty as he lunges it up the inside before the bridge. Makes his move, makes it stick as well, pretty cleanly done. Scotty left the space. So Taz is back up ahead. Can Scotty respond as we come over the bridge for the final time here in the sprint session? Taz defends the inside, Scotty breaks a bit later. They both turn in. There's no contact given. Scotty kind of shows Taz the wall. So Taz has to back out of it. So Scotty's ahead from P5. Taz is now back down to P6 after a great move for the bridge. Let's go further forward though. Astro has a moment. No, not excuse. Astro has had a moment. We'll come back and check on that in just a moment. Actually, no, we'll go back and check on that now. I think his shifter might not have worked. I don't think his shifter worked. I think he's on auto drive at the moment because he was stuck in second gear. Now he's back up and running. I think he had to reset his wheel. So here comes Scotty. Scotty's not going to try and get for fourth. He has got fourth. So Astro's lost out here. Coming up to the final corner is his teammate CMP, who's absolutely controlled this race from lap 1. Had a great launch compared to the BMW, whose pre-update had a good launch. Here comes CMP, take victory here in the sprint race. Polkio in second, Anomina in third. We then got Scotty, who takes fourth. Astro, who takes fifth. Taz in sixth. Auto in seventh. We then got Denz, who takes eighth. Higgsy, who takes ninth. And then we got Gills, who takes 10th, rounding off the top 10 at the moment. We then got Prime in 11th. ADR in 12th. Cinder, in 13th. Ethan in 14th. And down the hill after having a great opening couple of laps, and then got very, very unlucky. Through comes Anton for 15th position, and SCS, who we haven't really seen much at all because various other bits have been happening, rounds off in 16th. So it's been that long, I don't even remember the strategies for this. That's how long. I'm thinking, if memory serves me right, it's you're probably looking at a one stop. Well, it's not as slow as it has been. It's definitely speeding up. Internet seems to be on my side at the moment, so I'm not going to say anything bad. So last time I did this track with my tier 4s, I ended up being called Radio Man because half the time it was in radio. Not ideal. Anyway. Now we're 100% downloaded. Now it's got to do the copying because GT7 doesn't like me today. Thank you. I know you love a bit of ALR radio. I seem to be the only one that actually has to do it. ALR radio is hard, but it's good if the drivers and everybody who's watching knows the track. If they know the track, you're good. If you don't know the track, it sucks. Because it almost got to a point where I had to record the sprint, save that clip, trim that down so it was literally just the sprint, upload that and then do the feature, and then upload the feature separate, like 2 separate videos, because otherwise it's just, it wouldn't have worked. Because the screen recorder only does up to an hour, and both, I mean, this one's 43 minutes, and then the sprint's about 15-16 minutes, and then they've got it involved the loading time, so it's then becomes a bit tricky. So we got Gills on the hards, Higsy on the hards, Dens on the medium. So Dens is going to look at an early, potentially an early threat to the top two, who are on the hard compound tyres. We then got Auto on the hards, Taz is on the hards, Astro on the hards, Scotty's on the mediums. So Scotty's going to again be one of those that are going to look at doing an early charge through the field. Anonymous is on the hards, Poltio on the hards. CMP, our sprint race winner, is on the hards, as well as Prime, ADR, Cinder, Ethan's on the mediums, Anton's on the mediums, STS is on the hards. So it's a good mix of the grid, actually. And away we go. So we all dart into the slipstream. We all start in a straight line, which is going to be great. Who gets an early start? Who gets the best advantage? I think it's going to be No, Higgsy's not quite close enough as we come into turn one. CMP's already made up a position. He's already gotten past Boltiol before they've even got to the exit of turn one. So CMP's not hanging around on his hard tyres and going further forward. Astro, ooh, there's contact. There is contact between Astro and Taz and a couple of other drivers, I think. Auto's in 5th, Astro's already up to 4th. Taz being hung out to dry on the outside. Or is that Anonymous? Excuse me, that's Anonymous. Anonymous already fighting with CMP. Poltiot trying to get back past CMP. Poltiot's now going up the inside of CMP. I'm going to jump on board because I hate these camera angles. I love staring at hills. I hate staring and watching the action. CMP side by side with Poltiot now has the inside line. Does Poltiot get the switch back? He gets on the throttle early. He has got a nose on the inside. He's now fully alongside CMP. So CMP still having to fight for that 9th position. Poltiot tries to go around the outside. Does hang it around the outside. That's an awesome work hanging it around the outside. Can he do it again though? CMP hits his apex, absolutely smashes the throttle. Poltiot's got the slight overspeed. Can he get the switch back? He is now alongside, but he's now on the outside again for the next corner, going further forward. Astro's fight for Sky, but we're going to come back here and watch this for just a moment before we go further forward. Den's still in 3rd, even though he's on the mediums. Poltiot does hang it around the outside now, has the inside line for the next couple of corners. Absolutely fantastic move by the BMW driver. CMP brakes late and tries to go around the outside. Both of these drivers are on hards. Poltiot has got a non-anti-lag turbo on that BMW, hence the switch. It's the one thing I hate about the BMWs. Anton making up good positions. He's fighting for 12th at the moment. Let's go further forward. Let's check up what's going on up here. Denz is down to 5th at the moment. Scotty's up to 3rd. So great opening lap from Scotty. Astro's up into 4th. Let's go back to these two. Oh yeah, there's another massive spin. Poltiot got saved by the wall, no damage thankfully. Now this corner you can take it one of two ways. You can either preserve your tyres a little bit more, or you can do the sprint mode, which is what the BMW is doing, and absolutely pin it. Great fight. Second to last corner as we come down past the penalty line. We're going to come forward in just a moment as I've seen Astro now go up to 3rd. Just want to see if these two have a little battle going down the start-finish straight. They're going to. Let's stay here for just another corner. Scott is up to 2nd, so we'll come back to the top group in a moment. Poltiot has the inside for turn 1. This is a little bit of contact, just about misses the grass. So Poltiot's back up to 9th, so let's go further forward. Let's stick with this group. Denz fighting Higsy for 4th as Alto makes it 3 wide, backs out of it. Here comes Taz as he capitalises on 2 positions, offsetting up the corner beautifully as there's contact between Auto and Higsy. Massive contact between Auto and Higsy. Both of them have lost that massive amount of times. Anonymous says thank you very much. Going further back, we've got a huge battle behind us involved in the top 2. as CMP and Poltio make a little bit of contact. And both drivers not spinning each other out, but not far off it. Here comes Anton on the medium tyres. Scotty's now up into first, Gilles is down into second. Gilles is back up ahead. We're going to come back to that, and there's too much going on. I'm trying to grab it all. Auto trying to go around the outside of Anonymous. Can he get it to work? He does get it to work. Goes straight around the outside. Fantastic move there. Let's go further forward because there's moves and things going on up front. So Scotty goes up to the right hand side of Gilles. There's now a drag race between these two. Gilles slots in behind Scotty, so Scotty takes a very early lead. His charge to the front is now done as Gilles gets the corner slightly wrong and his braking point slightly wrong. Den's in third at the moment, Astro in fourth, Taz in fifth. Astro making great use of that traction control. Some drivers like it, some drivers don't. Personally, I like a little bit. I think the front's quieting down just a smidge. I'm probably going to go back in a minute. Yeah, I can imagine the dirty air is not great. Right, let's go further back. Right, so Poltio managed to finally clear CMP and get some gap, get a little bit of a gap ahead of him. So CMP back down to 10th, Poltio back up to 9th. The top three for the final, for the sprint race, excuse me, are back in their starting positions. Poltio trying to make a move on Anonymous, not quite sure he's close enough this time. Anton down to 11th, Ethan up, down to 12th, Ethan up to 11th. And we got the rest of the grid. We got these two, I think, have just had collision. So Scotty's made up a lot of ground at the moment. Let's stay on board with Denz. Gilles swoops to the inside, hitting his apex, but he's got a medium tyre Mazda on his backside at the moment. What can he do? Denz brakes a little bit earlier, trying to make sure there's no contacts between both cars. You can see how much that Alpha is starting to struggle just a little bit on the tyre difference. Gilles doing a fantastic job sitting on the racing line, forcing Denz to kill off his tyres a little bit and forcing him to do something he don't really want to do, which is slow down. He's trying different lines. He's got a little bit of a later apex. It's closed him up a little bit more. Is he going to have a little look at the inside? No, he's not. A little bit of a slide coming out before we get to this very quick right-hander onto the back straight. Gilles struggles to get the car straightened out, but here comes Denz with a massive overspeed. Fantastic exit, fantastic speed through the mid-corner, and through goes Denz. Swoops across and then defends sort of like towards the middle. Gilles backs off, lifts, does a massive lift. Doesn't want to get too close through here. Trying to minimise the time loss. At the moment, Scotty taking a massive lead at the moment. Astro just behind these two, with Taz just behind him. We then got Hicksey in 6th, Poltio in 7th, who's recently got past Anonymous, who's in 8th. Am I missing someone? I am missing someone. We then got CMP in 9th, Anton in 10th, Prime in 11th. Right, that's who I'm missing. Sorry, if I may, I'm just going to go. Alright, it's happened previous lap. So we got Auto in 13th, so something's happened to Auto, which I'm not going to go back too much further than that to go and find out what's going on. And then got SCS in 14th, ADR in 15th, and Ethan bringing up the rear at the moment. So Anonymous goes very wide after the bridge. This is going to open up the opportunity to CMP. CMP tries to absolutely maximise his exits. We come out off the chicane after the bridge along to this long right-hander. CMP does do a lift mid-corner to try and help car rotate and not put too much stress on the outside left tyres. Is there going to be a move? There is a little look up the inside and on the not. Ooh, very nicely held, sir. Very nicely held. CMP power sliding his way through the final corner. This allows Anton to go straight up to 9th position. Fantastic car control from CMP. Great exit of the first corner, already challenging Anton for 9th. As Anton, I don't think is aware that he's there. Doesn't have much space. It's kind of forced to give him a bit of space towards the end. Anton, bear in mind, is on the mediums as well. So CMP fighting a medium driver and starting to get ahead a little bit. But Anton uses the softer compound tyre, drives it around the outside, gets a very good run. As we come up to sector 2, like the middle part of this track. Anton's R8 gets a lot of a better run as we come down the hill. Ooh, that's the grass and that's the gravel, so the CMP's run's pretty much done. Comes back and tries to defend the inside, but there goes Prime. Prime has a much better overspeed and obviously cleaner tyres. But here comes CMP. CMP hasn't a very good go as we come onto this long right-hander. Can Prime try and hang it around the outside? No, he can't. So through goes CMP back up into 10th. He's lost the toe though, so Prime could try and get back up again. I don't think he does. I don't think he wants to. No, he don't. I don't think he wants. I don't think he wanted to do it there. So CMP in 10th, Prime down to 11th. Let's go further forward and see what else is going on. Let's all do. We just arrived at the perfect time. So Gil's doing a great job at defending P3 from Astro at the moment. As Astro hits the barrier, decides to turn right and not left for some reason, so hits the barrier. He's got front bumper and front suspension damage, so this is going to be good for Gills at the moment. Try and get away, try and open up a little bit of a gap and see if Taz can get involved and see if Taz and Astro can start getting tangled up. Astro having suspension and bumper damage is not going to help him through some of these corners. It's going to hinder him a little bit. That's going to hinder Taz a little bit, so Taz might not be able to hook up onto the back of Astro quite as quickly. Which, look at the throttle movements from Taz, just feathering the throttle as we come through the right-hander. A lot of drivers are flat, lift, then flat, whereas Taz is feathering the throttle. Struggling to get the car to turn. There's a lot of dirty air. I sounded American then. Dirty air, excuse me. Going through the second to last corner. So Higgsy able to hook up onto the back of Taz now. We then got Portio in 7th. But out front, we got Dens and we got Scotty, who potentially could be looking at coming in soon. Just looking at his tyres. Let's go back further forward. Let's find ourselves a bit of a fight. I think the closest two are going to be up here. It's going to be Poltio with Higgsy and Taz. Oh, I mean, look at the speed difference between Poltio and Higgsy. Poltio already up the inside of Higgsy. Has a little bit of a moment. I think Higgsy might have just backed out. Yeah, I think Higgsy did just back out of that. I think he knows that that's not his race. It's probably best just to hook up on the back of the BMW and follow them through, going back a couple. CMP's now catching up to the back of the Audi, so I'll keep an eye on them. If you can read this, you are too close, then yeah, I'm probably a bit too close to you, mate. I'm following you at the moment. I'm sorry, I'm taking the first chance to have a look at the cars, and I love one of the main sponsorships on this car. Well, I'm not even going to point it out. I'm going to let people figure that one out. Let's come back. So CMP gets a great run. As we come up to the hairpin, does he go for it? He's gonna go for it. He's put his car up on the inside. So through goes CMP off into the grass on the exits of those. So this is going to allow Anton to catch up back up. Is he going to try and go around the outside? He's going to potentially try to. CMP's got the corner. He's going over the nasty bump, going back a couple of cars. Auto goes over the nasty bump as well. Anton not quite close enough. Going further forward. Anonymous feather in the throttle as well, trying to prolong the hards just a little longer. Higgsy trying to keep up with that BMW as best as possible. Let's have another little look up front. The battle for P3 is definitely going Astro's way at the moment. Astro through on the last corner, hits the wall. That's going to kill his momentum. So through goes Gilles as Denz and Scotty comes in on a lap 5 to go on to lap 6. So these guys are going to go to the end on the hard tyres. Here comes Taz. Taz is now going to get involved with the battle for the first position at the moment. Then just behind them we got Poltiol. So the fact that Poltiol's starting to look at the top 3. Let's go back a couple of cars as we're going on back here. So Scotty's come out on the medium, so Scotty's doing the 2-stop. So's Denz. So Denz and Scotty doing the 2-stop. They're doing the medium. I'm guessing medium soft. So Scotty and Denz have got a lot of work to do getting back up front. Auto trying to have a look up the inside of Cinder. Not going to work this time. He's going to be a little bit careful though, because he's got Scotty on a fresh set of mediums. Cinder has a moment, pulls right over to the side. Through goes Auto, through goes Scotty. Does he fight back? No, he doesn't. I think he realises that his race is not with Scotty this time around, going further forward. CMP not quite closing up onto the back of Anonymous. Higgsy behind Poltiol still. Let's go back further forward to the top 2. Astro got his nose up the inside of Gilles and then slots back in, pushing Gilles along. Astro has a little lift just to open up a bit of a gap. So there's a little bit of a nudge and a little bit of contact. Astro being nice and playing the fair game, does not attempt to attack, but here comes Taz. I'm going to go back and watch this from Taz's point of view. So there's Astro lifting, there's Astro on the brakes, there's a tiny little bit of contact there through that puff of smoke. So Gilles now off-centred, Astro's not wanting to capitalise, and here comes Taz, who's going to do a double overtake and make it 3 wide coming into the hairpin. So through goes Taz to take the lead here at France. Gilles is now in second, Astro is now in third, not gaining anything. Gilles defends the outside, Astro to the inside, so through goes Astro. Gilles is now down to third, but here comes Poltiol. Let's go back and watch this from Poltiol's point of view. Like I said, 3 Brits are all fighting it out for first. They're fighting so hard and too hard to realise what else is going on. So Taz has made a fantastic double overtake into the hairpin. our championship leader, I believe a championship leader, again saved by the Armco barrier off to the bridge, as the battle for first is still very much not over. The whole of tier 2 pretty much closed up together. Astro now trying to get up the inside of Taz, has got alongside. Taz does give the space as we come to the left-hander of the penultimate corner. Poltio not quite able to get close enough to Gills at the moment. Gills in the slipstream and then the wheel tracks of Astro. Astro in the wheel tracks of Taz. Taz defends the middle and the inside. Astro goes out wide. Does Astro get the switchback? He does get the switchback. Gills comes in. Astro comes in. Taz stays out. Poltio stays out. Higgsy comes in. CMP comes in. Anton comes in. Prime stays out. Scotty's obviously going to stay out. He's not going to be coming in. Bad breathe. So Den's in 7th. I'm sorry, what? So Anton's gone on to the softs. Higgsy's gone on to the mediums, is going to go on to the end. Astro going on to the mediums and going to the end. Gills on the mediums to the end. CMP comes out on the mediums to the end. And Cinder comes in as well. So some of these drivers doing the 1-stop, some doing the 2-stop. The one doing the 2-stop up front is Anton, who's going on to the softs. Unless you're doing the medium soft strategy, in which case you're probably going to struggle a little bit because Higgsy's right behind you, or who's doing the 1-stop. Now going further forward. Oh, you did medium soft, fair enough. Now, didn't give a shit at all. Fair enough, I do not blame you. Now let's go further forward. Scotty on prime coil as we come down the back straight. Scotty on the mediums, Prime still on the old set of hards, most likely coming in to do the hard soft strategy. Scotty already ahead, comes across a little bit, does give Prime a little bit of a squeeze, but not too much of a squeeze. Don't want to compensate too much on that inside corner. Now let's go back up front. Let's have a look at the battle for first. At the moment, both drivers are on the same strategy in the same compound. Taz, good exit from Taz, a very good exit from Taz. Poltio doesn't quite get the exit he wants. Struggles a little bit to get the power down. Much better corner, doesn't rely on the Armco barrier to save him this time. But Taz opened up that gap. It's a big lift from Poltio mid-corner. Taz has opened up the gap, but Poltio's closing that gap. Although he's got to be a bit careful because of the dirty air. Taz doesn't hit his apex, doesn't quite get the car to rotate. Here comes the BMW, who's become down the final hill up into the final corner. Poltio does move to the inside. Taz stays out wide, stays to the outside. Poltio comes in, Taz stays out, he has to stay out. So both Gen X's cars are now in first and second doing the same strategy. Here comes Scotty. Scotty's gonna probably take pole soon, take first position soon. Let's just wait for the pits to do their things. Ethan's surely got to come in soon. Yep, in comes Ethan. So Prime's come out on the mediums. Let's go further forward. Oh, go on SES. So SES gets an absolute monster drive coming out of turn 1. As he's now going up alongside ADR. Swoops around from the outside to take his to hit the apex of turn 2. It's a great move from the McLaren going further forward. Astro versus Poltiol. Poltiol's on the mediums. Astro's already on the set of mediums. They're already warmed up. The undercut's not quite worked for Astro, so the overcut and the overrun for the BMW has worked well, putting them ahead of Astro and of CMP as well. There's still gills between Poltiol and Astro, and gills between Poltiol and CMP, so this has worked well for the BMW driver. Right, let's go further forward. Out. Auto in 5th at the moment, still yet to stop, most likely coming in this lap. Let's be a little bit careful. Going further forward again, Scotty's catching up to the back of the Gen X cars, who Taz can go on. Anonymous been fuel saving, I think. He's been doing a good job on the fuel because he's got about a quarter of a tank left. That's similar to what Scotty's got, and Scotty's already pitted once. So Scotty has a bit of a lift mid-corner, using and abusing those medium tyres. Straight up the inside goes Scotty, mass overspeed, better braking and better grip. Gets the move done, but Anonymous taking the corner much better and smoother than Scotty, so it does have a good run down the hill, but Scotty's got the inside line, brakes a little bit later, and through goes Scotty again. Taz comes in, Anonymous stays out, so Anonymous going around again, going to try and fight Scotty for first. This is going to start impacting Scotty's run if he's not too careful. He really wants to clear Anonymous quite quickly, as up the inside goes Anonymous. Through turn 1, Scotty gets a switch back as we come charging down the hill. No, I'm not doing cinematic view because that is terrible. Scotty's got the inside and swoops in, and I can't quite compete and stay alongside. As we go through the double left-hander, excuse me, and you're now going to just watch Scotty pull away corner by corner, little by little, with all this dens. Is not too far behind. One mistake from these guys off into the grass and loss of momentum is going to bring Dens into play. Let's go a bit further back. Higgsy's still all over the back of Anton. Anton on the soft tyres, putting in some good solid times. Gonna have to come in again soon, probably come in at the end of this lap to then go on to the end. We got Poltiol on the mediums, who can now see these two, starting to open up a bit of a gap to Astro behind him. This is a bit of a better camera angle, you can see cars. CMP just behind him, and then Taz just behind CMP, who's on much fresher tyres. So Taz potentially could look at getting past CMP soon. We'll have to wait and see. Let's go a bit further back. So Prime's in 11th. We got Cinder in 12th, with Auto just behind, who's gone on to the mediums in 13th. We got ADR still not pitted in 14th. Well held. And then got Ethan in 15th, who's gone on to the hards. And then we got SCS just behind, who's gone on to the mediums, who will be overtaking, I should assume, shortly. Ooh, Poltiol. What's happened to Poltiol? Oh dear. let's go back and have a look at what's happened to our championship leader and the BMW driver in P6. Just, yeah, massive unsettlement of the car. So through goes everybody. His teammate's just behind. The yellow flags are being waved. And there's his teammate. So Poultiol's race in a kind of tatters. He doesn't really have that long to catch back up, and that's a lot of time to catch up. And all these drivers doing very, very similarly paced as well. So it's very hard for Poultiol to catch up after making a mistake like that just before the bridge. Going further forward, Taz has got himself a half-second penalty. But let's stay with CMP. Nonema finally comes in, so this releases Dens up into P2. Now, how did Anonymous' massive overrun help him compared to where CMP comes out? So Anonymous comes out, CMP has got ahead, so CMP's gotten ahead of Anonymous, but Anonymous on the softs with 3 to go. That's the two teammates on slightly different strategies. Taz gets the momentum and gets ahead. Anonymous on the softer tyres, so these two are going to play the team game. And is Taz going to release his teammate who's on the soft tyres to try and hunt down the Ferraris ahead? That would be a great release. As Poultiol drifts himself through turn 2, Taz goes off wide into the grass. That's going to release his teammate who's on the soft tyres. Let's go further forward as the two Ferraris are in 5th and 7th at the moment. Going further forward again, Higgsy's in 4th, Anton's in 3rd. Dens and Scotty have got to come in this lap surely. Go on to the softs. Oh, we are so staying here. We are so staying here. So, the 3 Italian manufacturers, 2 of the same type. Astro defending the inside. CMP giving Gills a little bit of a push. We're now going 3 wide into this corner. Astro backs out of it. CMP doesn't back out. Does try and go up the inside of Gills. Gills is hung out to dry, so both Ferraris now go through and back together. So CMP makes up 2 positions. Astro makes up 1. Gill loses out both. That was a great move and great race, Crafts. Coming down the back straight. And here's Anonymous lighting up those soft tyres already on the back of Gills. It was very smart from the Ferraris. Put you in a position where you need to defend and attack, and put you off onto the hang out to dry, and then through goes both Ferraris. So fantastically set up by both teammates. The team. If you've got two cars on the same team and the same point in the track and you want to get past someone, work together like that. That's a textbook example of how to work together as teammates. In comes Scotty. Does Dens keep going? No, Dens comes in. He has to come in. So potentially we're going to stay on board with the Ferraris here, because potentially Higgsy could be P1 or CMP. So there goes Scotty. There's Scotty. So Scotty just about comes out in 2nd at the moment. Where does Dens comes out in 8th? But bear in mind, Scotty's on the softs. It's going to take a couple of corners for them to get properly up to tempo and properly switched on. But in those couple of corners, CMP can try and attack. Are the two Ferraris going to try and work together again and do a textbook move like they did previously? But this time they've got Scotty, who's on the soft tyres with only about 2 or 3 laps to go. Scotty's just got qualifying laps to do. Higgsy's out front at the moment, so it's at Lexus 1-2, Ferrari 3-4. As the clouds start darkening, as everything starts becoming a little bit darker. Off the road goes Astro. This is going to allow Anonyma, excuse me, to close right up on the back of the Ferrari. He doesn't really want to attack quite yet. Gets the switchback, gets a lovely switchback, and through goes Anonyma. Astro down to 5th at the moment. Here comes Gills. Can Gills capitalise? No, Scotty's already opening up a gap to CMP. That's the power of those soft tyres very, very late in this race. Anonyma could be in a similar position as well. Gills struggling to get that Alfa Romeo to behave and to turn to the right. Gills in the slipstream of Astro, but I want to watch Anonyma in the slipstream and now going past CMP. CMP can't do too much. Anonyma on the softer compound of tyre. Through goes CMP. Astro holds on to 5th at the moment, so it's still a Lexus 1-2 at the moment. It's a Gen X P3. As it's starting to get darker, are we going to have rain? Is the weather going to play the final card and going to spice up things here in France? Higgsy's out in front. I don't think it's going to be for too long though, so the rest of the grid opening themselves up a little bit. Taz is going to start trying to close down. Oh, Dens is going to start trying to close down on Taz. Peltiol's in 9th, Prime's in 10th. Auto's in 11th, Anton's in 12th, Sinter's 13th, SCS 14th. 15th, excuse me. Ethan's in 14th, and I think someone's given up. Anyway, let's stay here. So none of the wiper blades are moving. I don't even know if it can rain here. There's a sound glitch in the barrier just back there. Higgsy's already let Scotty pass and through, or Scotty's made a move already, so Scotty back ahead leading the race at the moment. Higgsy in 2nd. We got Anonyma in 3rd, so Higgsy going to try and play the team game and hold off Anonyma for as long as humanly possible. We got a Ferrari 4-5 at the moment. We got Gills in 6th. So your top 7 are all within one sort of one total corner, if that makes sense. Taz starting to hook up onto the back of Gills. Gills' tyres are starting to drop off a little bit. Taz's tyres are very, very fresh compared to Gills, so Gills could be under pressure here soon. Taz hitting his apex, hitting his mark. Gills struggling to get the car to turn again. So further forward, further up ahead, Anonyma all over the back of Higgsy now. Higgsy struggling in the corners. The soft tyres now starting to get quite worn down for Anonyma. We're almost at the point where, okay, no, maybe not those tyres, maybe these. We're starting to get to the point where the switch over between the mediums and the softs are being reached. But I don't think it's going to be the same said for Higgsy. Higgsy on the one-stop strategy. Let's stay with Anonyma as we go over the bridge. I think the cloud's just passing over. Anonyma has a look, doesn't get the move, can't get alongside and can't get close enough to make a move. So Higgsy doing a fantastic job as we go through another sound glitch on this map. Higsy doing a fantastic job at holding off Anonyma, allowing Scotty just to get away even more. As Anonyma hits the walls, just checking the fuel gauges of the top three. Both Lexus drivers have got plenty of fuel. Anonyma should have enough. We're not on the red yet as we come on to the final lap of this race. We're on the red now, so Anonyma's going to have to short shift his way to the finish line, but he's got a fantastic run. Higsy defends to the inside as it's now about for P2 on the final lap, so nothing's at stake. Higsy tries to hold on, understeers off, not quite off. He gives Anonyma enough room. Anonyma, the door was shut for him. Now it's the inside from the following corner, but then we've got the double left-hander coming up. Higsy defends it well. Anonyma trying to get the switch back. CMP gives him a push, which then gives Higsy a push. CMP's now getting involved with this battle. CMP trying to get up the inside of Anonyma. This is allowing Higsy a little bit of breathing room, the breathing room he needs just to keep going. He needs to do. Anonyma's tyres at the same point as the mediums around him, so his tyres are now going to start falling off the cliff very, very soon. With all this going on, Scotty's just opening up that gap even more. Anonyma setting up to re-attack as we come up the hill, round to the right. Anonyma trying to get his car up the inside, trying to push a nose up the inside. Higgs not allowing any of it at the moment. Who can get a good run down the back straight? I think it's an advantage to Anonyma at the moment. Higsy sat in the middle, Anonyma to the left. Has got a good run, just about has enough extra speed to get past. Is he going to hang Higsy out to dry? Let's watch from CMP's point of view. Higsy not hung out to dry like Gills was last time, so Anonyma finally up to P2. It's taken him 2 laps to get to this point, but Higsy's done enough and Higsy's done his job as CMP nearly comes into the back of Higsy. Scott is way out ahead. Anonyma's tyres are almost dead, so are Higsy's, so this is anybody's game at the moment as we come over the bridge for the final time. We're going to stay here, we're not leaving this group because the battle everywhere else can hold on for just a moment or two. Anonyma opening up a little bit of a gap to Higsy. Higsy's starting to struggle a little bit. CMP close, not quite close enough to make a move this time around. As everything gets put on the line through this final right-hander, the CMP is taking it, using the advantage. Is he going to use the momentum he's got? He's going to go up the inside of Higsy. Higsy can't do much to fight it this time around. There's a big battle behind as well, but let's go further forward. Let's come around the final corner for the final time with Scotty, who's done an absolute masterclass in the strategy. Fantastic job. Takes victory here in the feature race at France. We've got CMP who's managed to get part. Okay, we need to go back and watch this. We've given Scotty his moment, but let's come back and watch. CMP has a fantastic penultimate corner. Gets through and past Anonyma. Anonyma absolutely flat out, but he's got lift a little bit. Astro now getting involved as well. Astro now going up to P3. Higsy's being literally squeezed out to the wall, so it's a Ferrari 2-3 as CMP and Astro take second and third. Higsy takes fourth, Anonyma takes fifth. Gills just about holds on to sixth with Dens in seventh, Taz in eighth. We then got Auto and comes over the line in ninth as Poltiol is out to fuel, so Auto's in ninth, Prime's in 10th. Poltiol's race has not gone that well as Anton's in 11th. Poltiol ran out of fuel, so over the line he comes for 12th. Cinder in 13th. And then got Ethan coming down the hill for the final time. Over the line comes Ethan, full 14th. SES comes over the line for the final time in 15th, and then we got, yeah, he gave up on lap 10. ADR in 16th. So there we have it. There's France. I'm not even going to bother going through the standings because everybody knows what's happened and everybody knows where they are in the standings. So I hope everybody has had a great time. There's round 4. I can try and come back and do another round at some point. I will have to wait and see. But take care everyone, and we'll see you all soon.